teammates can provide him with a crown of thorns or a jewel-studded garment. Terry Bradshaw achieved royal status, while Archie Manning had a cross to bear, the New Orleans Saints. In 1971, Manning joined this lowly franchise, but his arm promised that in the NFL at least, the South would rise again. Manning blossomed into one of the game's best, and he was named NFC Player of the Year for 1978. Yet the Saints had never known a winning season, and Manning was seen as the perpetual savior of a team that could not save itself. Nor could the Saints save Manning from the onslaught of enemy defenses. Here was one Johnny Reb who heard the bugle sound retreat all too often. This scrambling fox wore out many a hound. But Archie Manning's misfortune is that his own team has yet to keep pace with his considerable talent. Terry Bradshaw inherited a team that couldn't keep pace with anyone.
Golly, could nothing be greater happen to Terry Bradshaw than to go up to Pittsburgh and make Pittsburgh a winner. Team from 1-13, change it around, make it 13-1 or 14. You know, make them a winner.
The Steelers won 5 games in 1970 as the raw rookie displayed both a man's arm and a child's exuberance.
How about that, huh?
For an eager rookie, one good game can make the future look bright.
The first 2 games, every time we started dropping back, everything was real fuzzy, you know? And now it's just all sort of, you know, don't even worry about it. And that's why I've always wanted to feel. I feel if I could ever get like that, everything would be all right.
It's going to get better.
Yeah, I mean, I was dropping back and I could see the defense and see them going into the weak zone and everything. I could see the whole picture. I knew exactly where to go.
Yeah.
If that continues, you know, that's going to be great.
But greatness was interrupted by moments when Bradshaw looked like he was auditioning for hee-haw. In the early years, miscues earned him ridicule from those who saw him as a yahoo, a yokel, a little Abner in cleats. And Brad, a self-doubt that threatened to send his career crashing to the ground. Though he bounced back, he never shook the tag of Bayou Bumpkin. Indeed, he often seemed disoriented in Steelers black and gold, more suited to tattered knee pants and suspenders. But talented teammates helped Bradshaw find his bearings. The Pittsburgh Steelers were destined to become the greatest team of the 70s, and Bradshaw helped them fulfill their destiny. Bradshaw benefited from a stable of swift and graceful receivers, who in turn benefited from his awesome arching rockets. In 1974, Bradshaw emerged as a confident, consistent, and yes, intelligent leader and passer. Bradshaw not only found himself, he and the Steelers found each other. Together, they won a record Super Bowls. During the 70s, there was no football team on earth more consistently powerful than Pittsburgh's men of steel. In that grandest of football spectacles, the Super Bowl, Terry Bradshaw rose to the magnitude of the event 4 times. In Super Bowl 13, Dallas, he threw a record 4 touchdown passes. Super Bowl 14 brought Bradshaw MVP honors for the 2nd straight year. With this triumph, Bradshaw had won twice as many Super Bowls as any quarterback in NFL annals. It had taken a while for Terry Bradshaw to attain maturity, but once he and the Pittsburgh Steelers matured together, they carved themselves a special place in pro football history. The Minnesota Vikings drafted quarterback Fran Tarkenton. Maybe his offensive line was bad, or maybe they just wanted to move aside and watch him like everyone else. Whatever the reason, it forced Tarkenton to invent maneuvers that no one had ever seen before. Fran's antics were disdained, termed scrambling, an unpredictable improvisation that added color to the game. Tarkenton's offense would salvage success on plays that clearly should have been failures. Viking head coach Norm Van Brocklin was considered an offensive genius. Yet even he could not have designed on paper what Tarkenton and his teammates designed on the run. It was this logic-defying ability that caused his head coach to have nightmares.
To our surprise, Francis had a very average arm, but he had ability to run. And since he has this ability, every time he gets in trouble a little bit, he takes off running from one side to the other. Well, there's a standard joke on our team by our linemen that if they miss their man, just to wait there because Francis will be coming back and he'll bring his man back to him. People have described Tarkenton as a scrambling type of quarterback. I suspect that that's about the best name you could put on him.
Because of Fran, the Vikings were exciting, even when they lost. Minnesota was often undone by the unpredictable play that made them unique. It has been suggested that a quarterback gets too much credit when his team wins and too much blame when they lose. After 7 years of such suggestions, Fran Tarkenton was traded to the New York Giants, where he was forced to test a personal belief.
And I think a quarterback has got to have an arrogant quality about him because he's going to get shot at by so many people. And if he's paranoid, then he'll never make it. Because during his career, he's going to have times when his teammates are going to doubt him, his coaches doubt him, fans doubt him, the press doubts him. And he's got to just wipe all that away, and he's got to be arrogant enough to say, you know, I'm good, and I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to press on.
And could not make the Giants a champion, but he did make them entertaining. Like always, Fran played every play as if it were a drill. The results were usually completions or touchdown passes that would in time make him famous. In 1972, Fran was surprisingly traded back to his original team, the Minnesota Vikings. No longer an expansion joke. This was a veteran-laden champion, and they immediately extended a free rein to the most imaginative quarterback who has ever played pro football. Like all Tarkenton-led teams, the Vikings could score, but number 10 was still being criticized for the risk his mobility presented. It was his elusiveness that made him a prized catch of every defender who ever hounded his heels, and a gift that also earned him the respect of those very same men.
Fran was exceptionally quick. He had that ability to scramble, and we always thought he had eyes in the back of his head, because he would make that reverse his field just when you were just getting ready to tackle him. It was the best timing I'd ever seen.
People didn't want to believe that I could succeed being the type of quarterback or a different quarterback that I was.
Set! 4-23!
And it took them a longer time to accept me as something more than a freak quarterback.
Of all the knocks against Fran Tarkenton, none endured longer and was less deserved than the one questioning his ability to throw a football.
The name of the game is passing, and I think the whole thing of the arm is really overrated. I mean, I can throw the ball far enough, I can throw it hard enough, I can throw it with touch.
In the history of the NFL, no quarterback ever completed more passes for more yards and more touchdowns than Francis.
Flash wide to the left, Gilliam in the slot to the left. First and goal from the 7. Fran rolls to the right, dumps it out, caught by Foreman, touchdown! Fran Tarkenton's record-breaking 91st career touchdown pass.
During his 18-year career, no quarterback ever played in more games.